I'm super late. This is beyond late. This is like the type of late that this is the type of late that gets you like a suspension or something. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm in a bit of a dead zone. I know I'm super late because Mr. Z was just trolling Selkis Ray, and I did troll. I'm not even gonna lie, and I liked trolling her. I'm not even gonna lie. It was too easy. Um, yeah, and yeah, you know, trolling her and the comment section. Um, I mean, I got hit with "Why are you here?" I'm like, I listen to all of y'all. I was like, I've been listening to you for years, right? Because like, you know, it's kind of like when I spoke to Paris, like y'all just be saying things that's like not factually accurate. Y'all poo-poo statistics or facts that don't fit neatly into what you're trying to advocate for. Selkis a little less so, but like Selkis is one of those divine feminine women who think that she could like overcome all of that, and like, yeah, and she tells her followers or subscribers to see themselves as ugly because, apparently seeing yourself that way, you won't be you won't be stuck in the concept of pretty, and that way you won't get played by men. So that's what she thinks. Right, same thing. And she also is pushing this new campaign of "my vag is trash," so that women don't get into the "I got the magic vagina" type thing. And I get it. It's kind of like one of those you know kind of like a mind freak that she's trying to get her subscribers to be part of. Like, if you tell yourself you're ugly, then you won't in the beauty trap. If you tell yourself that you got a trash vag, right, then you won't get caught up in the magical pee thing that you could manipulate men or keep men because of your sex game or whatever like that. And I get it. I don't think any of that's gonna work. I don't think Selkis is being honest about how many women just want a paymaster. You know and so yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting listening to perspectives. And so people talk about each other like neo-Nazis intriguing. Like for people to have come off of the plantation 150 years ago and then be talking about each other like white racists, that's just intriguing. She refused to believe it's simply because I find all of this intriguing. She thought it's because either I'm attracted to her, or maybe I'm like, no, I listen to all of y'all. I listen to even the ones that don't show their faces, right? And like, yeah, women want to automatically start talking stalker talk and obsessed talk. That's their way of being that's their way of dealing with like uncomfortable stuff, like, oh, stalker, right? Or like obsessed. I'm like, no, what's so difficult about believing that I find this type of stuff intriguing? Like, is that really that difficult to believe, right? So yeah, so I was straight up trolling her, right? Because her video was gonna be her video initially, the title was men on your level, getting on your level or something like that. And I knew she wasn't going to really stick to the topic. Like I said, I've been listening to her for years, and it's so easy to throw her off her comment section. And like women complain for sport. So all somebody in her comment got to do is be like, these men, and she'll like go off on a tangent on whatever the person in the comment said. So I decided to monopolize that, and I just kept on throwing her off. When she would read my comments, I just threw her off, and I pretty much derailed the entire conversation, at least from what the title was, right? So yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did it. Victor Creed says, so she doesn't want people to watch her content. I mean, it's one of those, right? Like, why are you here? Like, don't y'all talk about really, like, Selkis, you literally talk about like sex. You literally talk about men. You literally talk about women being telling themselves they're unattractive to kind of get over trying to chase after this beauty standard that's going to leave them miserable. You literally do that. So why wouldn't I listen? You're a black woman. I'm a black man. I want to know what other black people are saying to other black people. Black women, black men, black LGBTQ, black. I'm a black. Like, they really have a difficult time believing that you're truly intrigued. So she went into the whole like, do you have a lady who's relying on you, who's dependent on you? I'm like, bro, I just put down, I put money towards my sister's wedding. I paid for her wedding earrings. I just paid for my mom's transmission flush. I paid my lady's car note. Come now. Hey, you know when somebody don't got nothing, she was like, well, you said your lady. Well, that mean y'all not married. You know, like somebody's like digging, like they're like, I gotta find something. And like she can't believe like I'm like truly in a happy relationship. I was just like thanking my one day mother-in-law I was just thanking her for creating my girl. Like I was like, you see this beautiful shape? Thank you, miss, right? And like, so yeah, it's fun. And she was like, where's your lady? And like, why aren't you with your lady? And I didn't want to tell her, like, my lady's literally sitting right next to me. like y'all think, like, it's funny listening to people that truly can't believe that you could be listening to them in this like relationship sphere, black women empowerment, swirler divester, and you be in a happy relationship as a heterosexual black man. Like y'all have the minds of women, a lot of young women. Why wouldn't I listen to y'all to get an idea of what women, young women specifically, are like being told and being suggested, right? Why wouldn't I listen? Right? Succus Ray has some 19,000 subscribers. Right now, I think like 150 people are listening to her. Why wouldn't I listen? Right? Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Like I don't know. It's just interesting. Like when you're actually doing, like, because they don't listen to us like that, right? So because they don't listen to us, and like that's the difference, I think. Like, I don't want to be so absolutist on this statement, but generally speaking, I think that's the difference between the men and the women, is that the men actually listen to what the women are saying. The women think they know what we're saying. They guess they know what we're saying, right? Like when it was like, somebody in her comments was like, yeah, these men are being encouraged to be with heavy set, unattractive women so that we could so they could live off of us. And I'm like, no, actually in the black manosphere, the men are encouraged to be with fit, submissive women. What are you talking about? Like, bruh, like, you see what I'm saying? Like, y'all don't even know. Like, that let me know that y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Like, that's why I listen to y'all, to be like, okay, yeah, I'm right. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just talking to be talking. It's just like a coven of like cackling hens, right? At least we listen to y'all to get an idea. Yeah, we go back in our manosphere space and we have the conversation, but at least we know what y'all are saying. It's not based off of what we feel you're saying or what we think you're saying or what we speculate you're saying. We actually know what you're saying. We're actually recording some of these things. We're actually like downloading some of y'all videos. We're not just coming out off the top, right? It's just crazy, man. Like, so yeah, I was just I trolled her. Her video's still going on. I stopped watching and listening, but yeah, you know. And it's like, bro, like because I initially went in there because I realized that when I was telling Selkis that, you know, on the previous video, when I was telling her, like, you know, the median income for men is 45,000, and less than 45,000, it's actually like closer to 43, 44. But anyway, I said less than 45,000, but it's around there, right? And like, women kept on thinking I'm talking about black men, because, you know, like, what I realized, it's not just Selkis Ray's subscribers. So many people, namely women, have a difficult time dealing with reality. So when you say things, they always have to have like some type of weird like escape hatch in their mind to like explain away or like feel away their whatever you said. So like when you say, okay, the median income for men is 45,000, they'll hear black men, obviously because we're black, right? But not just that, it's because they need an escape. They need to tell themselves, well, that's not true for white men or Latino men or Asian men. And it's like, yeah, actually it's more true for Latino men. Excuse me. It's somewhat true for white men. White men's median income is a little bit more, but when you put all men together, our median income is some $45,000-ish a year. Why is that so difficult to believe? It's because you can't believe it, because you don't want to think that you just X'd off half of men off top, right? Because y'all are so obsessed with men's income because you want to live some type of lottery dream life. You tell yourself that men make more or can make more than they make. And the only reason that the men that make less than, let's say, 70 grand a year, $75,000 a year, is because they're lazy. You want to think men's income is some 80 grand a year median, because you need to say that to yourself so that you can tell yourself you're not Xing off how many men. If y'all think men median income is 80 grand, you just X'd off like 80% of men, by the way. something like 75, 80, 85% of men, by the way. And the younger you go, the more men you X'd off. By the way, that's before we control for race. Because I know a lot of y'all think y'all gonna like hop, jump, skip out of Blackistan, air quotes Blackistan, into white land, right? So that's why y'all do that. Victor said these women apply what they think to reality. It's like explaining colors to the colorblind. Bro, it's crazy because like Silk has got to be mid 40s ish, right? Somewhere in her mid 40s ish, I'm guessing, right? Maybe a smidge older, but I'm guessing Selkis is somewhere in her mid 40s, maybe a smidge older. And like, it's interesting listening to this woman like sound this way, and like you're realizing like this is Generation Z's mother. This is Generation Z's mother that sounds like this, right? And like Selkis isn't even the worst of them, right? She's not even the worst. That's the crazy part, right? And I'm like, as a millennial, I'm like, I thought we had it bad. This goes back to what Ed said all the time. Like, at least we grew up with like the girl next door type of thing. Like Gen Z, oh my God. I'm sorry, brothers. I'm sorry. God damn. I gotta remind myself that Generation X is Gen Z's mother. Like Generation Z's parents are Generation X. I gotta keep on reminding myself that, right? In like mid-Generation X and younger Generation X too. Not even older Generation X like the brother Art New Style. Shout out to Art New Style, right? I gotta keep on reminding myself that. Oh my God. Like, and like I keep on saying, like, you know, like Suckus race isn't even the worst of Gen X women. Right? Shout out to F Holiday. F Holiday said, feeling old yet? My God. Oh, damn, bro. So yeah, I trolled her. I trolled Suckus Ray. I did. I went in trolling her. No. That's a lie. I went in trying to clarify the income information I put last video, and then, you know, she read it in a kind of way that I didn't really appreciate, and I just started trolling. I'm not Mr. Z. I went pretty petty. I started trolling. I'm not gonna lie. I trolled, and I started hitting with numbers, and I started being like when they were like, she went to a segment of her commentary where she was talking about black men trying to date out as like a way of like kind of like trying to climb the racial socioeconomic ladder by dating out and whatever, and having children out and whatever. And I was like, actually, you know, I hit it with the actually, according to Pew Research and like Health and Human Resource, blah, 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 US, black women have more mixed children than black men. And she read it. Like, you could tell, like, she started reading it, and then, like, she read the whole thing, and it's like, yeah, like, bro, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Oh, man. I was trolling. Yeah, I trolled. Yes, I did troll, because it's frightening what passes for commentary. And I think I'm not gonna lie, what sparked this was a segment of The Take that I watched recently. I think it was about 3 days ago now, where they were speaking about how like young people are going to like mainly TikTok, but young people are going to like these social media content creators to get advice, but not only but like factual, like they're looking at these people like they're giving them factual advice. Not that these people are just talking crap, right? And like that to me is frightening. Y'all are going, like Gen Z and younger millennials are going to people like Selkis Ray for facts. They're going to Chrissy for facts. They're going to Paris Milan for facts, right? That's the level of frightening that is. Like we think like, you know, older millennials and millennials are like delusional. Both the men and the women, let's be honest. I've been around some brothers, I'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? But definitely the women, right? We think they're delusional. We think some younger Xers are delusional. Oh my God, like what is Gen Z gonna be? No wonder they're talking this manifest talk, right? No wonder they're talking this manifest talk and this feminine divine talk and all of this other stuff, I said feminine, divine. Divine feminine talk, right? And I don't want to poo-poo anyone's spirituality or what anyone tries to hold on to or grasp onto, because reality could be tough. Life could be tough, and sometimes we need something supernatural to grab onto to kind of deal with the realities of life. I get it. I'm not even poo-pooing that, right? But wow. Wowzers, right? But give me a second, y'all. I gotta run in here real quick. I gotta run in the gas station real quick. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Um, um, Keep the comments flowing. I'll read the comments. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. I didn't even do my intro. Let's do the intro real quick. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Obviously, y'all know super chats read out loud, they take priority. I read the other comments as they come if I want, but y'all know how this goes. Anyway, yeah, so let me pause right here. Y'all keep the comments flowing and going. I will be right back in like maybe a couple minutes. So I'm gonna mute up and then I'm gonna give it a second. I'll be right back, y'all. I'm back. I am back. Okay, I am back. Hopefully you guys can hear me. These 40-plus-year-old women act like this online, but in reality, they know they have to deal with 40K guy or be alone or be a munch. The fact that freaking Ice Spice made munch like a word. Good morning, super chat. Oh, thank you, Joes. Thank you, Victor Creed. Also, oh, by the way, the previous comment was from Victor Creed. Victor Creed said, but Victor. So the interesting thing about Selkis is at least the way she speaks, she's not actually anti 40K a year, man. Generally speaking, right? That's not how, she's not on that, like, either you make this money or be single, right? But she is kind of like speaking like, well, if you make only 40K, then you got to deal with what you got to deal with, type of thing. And I'm like, okay, well, that's the reason why half of y'all daughters is single as hell, miserable and unhappy. Talk about it, right? You know, and excuse me, yo. Yeah, so that's what makes, you know, all of these people, this entire back and forth between black men and black women is so interesting to me. And like, the women really don't, first of all, like I said, and for those of you that didn't hear me before, so when I was speaking to Selda, when I was trolling her, really, when I was trolling her, she really didn't want to believe that I was just, like, I've been listening to her for years. Like, I first came on to Selkish Ray maybe like 3 or 4 years, like 3-ish years ago, right? And it was, if I remember correctly, this might be a little off, but if I remember correctly, it's because I think I typed in, I was looking up that online poll or that online statistic about how, like, so many women find so many men unattractive, and like somehow Selkish Ray like populated in my when I searched it, and so like I just binge watched a bunch of her content, and like, you know, and I was like, huh, interesting perspective, because she's not exactly like Chrissy and them, right? She's a little different. And so, yeah, but, and you know, this video wasn't even supposed to really be about that. This video was supposed to be about the fact that not my whole channel, knock on wood, my previous video got demonetized, like completely, like it's ineligible, right? The previous video. So I'm like, was that a message from the DNC? Was that, because I thought about all the things I said in that video. I re-listened to it and I was like, why would they make that ineligible? Why would YouTube make, why would that get, because everything else was my standard issue stuff, really, right? So I'm like, hey, I wonder, why would YouTube make that video ineligible? I didn't share any content, clearly, right? I didn't, you know, excuse me, I didn't use any crazy profanity. I didn't advocate for any violence. I didn't, none of that. So I was like, huh. So that's the reason why I said, you know, that's why I mentioned message. I got the message, YouTube and DNC and whoever the powers that be. I got the message, right? And again, it's not nothing but I'm a black man born and raised in America. Like, come on. What? Hey, Mr. Z really don't got balls of steel. I don't. I'm not a person that tells y'all I ain't afraid of nothing, man. I'm balls of steel. No, that's a lie. That is a lie. Right? That is a lie. Right? But I am a black man born and raised in America, and like I see how y'all did Martin, Malcolm, and Fred Hampton. Thank you. I knew when I started talking this type of way how my life could go. Thank you very much. I'm not saying I want it, because my life is pretty. I'm on the up and up right now, right? But yeah. Yeah. This is the life of a black man. You try to be real about relationship stuff, and that's a lie. But you. And yeah, now y'all not blocking channels, but making videos ineligible to get monetized. Okay, whatever. That's small fries. Wait until 2024. I'm just saying. No, I did not go out. I'm trying to get my energy up because I have a busy day ahead of me. Yep. So y'all, yeah, man. So yeah. So my video got demonetized, like I said, ineligible, which is the first one that it's not the first video I had ineligible to be monetized. Obviously, when I share other content, it gets demonetized. Yeah, right. But I didn't share anyone's content. No one's content was in my video. I didn't advocate for violence. None of the crazy stuff. So I'm like, why did y'all demonetize Mr. Z? Yeah. Anyway, if any super chats are coming in right now, you're gonna have to give me a minute until I get to a red light again, right? Because I am on the expressway right now. Right? Yeah. No, I am not driving the Z because, like I said, busy day, and yeah, I'm gonna be driving up and down, and I didn't want the Z to be, you know, it only takes one situation, and then you're out of luck, right? So, yeah. So back to Selkish Ray, because this is what this video. I'm changing the title of this video. Well, yeah, I'm changing the title a little bit on this video because we definitely talking about this Selkish Ray issue because that was funny. Like, bruh, like, yeah, it was so easy to troll her, right? And she tried to troll me back with the, well, are you married? Who's dependent on you? And da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, like, that's interesting. But boil men down to, like, and it's interesting because, like, Selkish Ray, like, flip-flops on this issue of, like, speaking about men like they're actually human beings, but then at the same time speaking about men that, like, we're only utilities, right? Right? Like I said, she's not the worst. And that's saying something. That's frightening. It's frightening to say that Selkish Ray is not the worst. It really is. Oh my God. All right. But yeah, y'all. So yeah, she's not the worst, and that's wow, wowzers. Right. So yeah. So hopefully tomorrow I will be seeing, by tomorrow afternoon or night, I will be seeing Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I will be giving my review. Yes, I listened to Art New Styles review, mixing y'all up, but yeah, I listened to Artisan MC speak about it, and so I am mentally preparing myself. Like I said, I already knew it was gonna be the BLM of MCU. I already knew it. Not surprised at all. So yeah, I am mentally preparing myself for the bull. But my lady is a Marvel head, so she's a comic book head, so comic movie head, so she wants to see it, and my sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law wants to see it. So we're going to see it tomorrow night, most likely, and couples, right? Couples movie, and I already prepared my sister and my lady for the extreme eye rolls that I'm gonna have. I'm not going to be talking during the movie, but I'm probably gonna roll my eyes to the back of my head. I'm probably gonna have the really now face. I'm probably gonna have the bruh face. Right? All of it. All of it. Yeah. Why is Mr. Z so giddy? Because I have like a 6-day weekend. From Wednesday to Monday, I'm gonna be off. So yeah. Yeah. So it only happens once. And I was trolling Selkish, and it was funny. It was funny because, like, this is a mother. Like, she really, from my understanding, I think Selkish has 2 daughters, right? And like, this is a mother, and like, to hear her speak, oftentimes, like, look, Mr. Z is not the paragon of facts, right? But I try to stay, like, and it is a bit of insecurity on my part because I'm not college graduate, because, you know, I'm a community college dropout, and I let everyone know that. I try to overcompensate by, like, doing, like, research and, like, trying to know as much as I can about the topics I'm talking about and the things that I find intriguing. And I try, like, because I have a channel now, I take my responsibility as a content creator very seriously. And, like, you know, it is raining in South Florida, so sorry for the rain. If it becomes too overwhelming, y'all let me know, and then I will, like, you know, shut this off and then try to come back a little bit later. But yeah, so obviously South Florida, welcome to South Florida. It's always, if it's not raining, it is hot. It is either raining or hot, like I told y'all before. But yeah, so, you know, I try to be as factually accurate on my. That doesn't mean I don't give opinions. Obviously, I give my opinions. Obviously, I give my take on different issues and topics. But I try to stay as facts. I try to base it off of the facts, right? That's why I initially subscribed to BGS years and years ago. And BGS was like, damn, you subscribed to me early on? I was like, yeah, I was subscribed to BGS like, what, 2015 or something, 2014? Like, when he first got on. He was like, damn, that's when I first started my channel. I'm like, yeah, because it was so fact heavy, right? That's why I'm subscribed to Sarge Willie Pete, because, you know, Sarge Willie Pete, like what I like about him is, like, he watches documentaries, he watches these different things. I'm almost certain me and Sarge Willie Pete probably are subscribed to like many of the same channels, because I see, like, like, you know, it's just so you can know what the hell you're talking about. That doesn't mean you don't give your opinion. That means your opinion is based off of not just your personal experiences and some anecdotes from your friends and family, right? So, tying that to some of the content creators on the women's side, hell, they don't care. They don't base nothing on nothing like that, right? And that doesn't mean that some of them don't consume some of the same type of stuff we watch, but they just don't base any of their commentary on that, or most of their commentary on that. I would argue that Chrissy watches a lot of the same things we watch, and I could tell by what she doesn't say. I want to be very clear. I can tell by what Chrissy doesn't say that she watches a lot of the same things that Sergeant Willie Pete and I and BGS and the rest of us watch, and I could tell because there's a lot of things Chrissy doesn't say, and I'm like, I know why you're not saying this, right? Or I know why you're saying this, or I know you're lying by omission. Now, Paris, on the other hand, doesn't care. Lexus Exodus doesn't care, right? Mahogany Pink, she probably know more than I do, and that's why I go in on her so much, because it's like you're even worse. You're the worst of actors because you're doing your subscribers a grave disservice, right? All these content creators, Divested Zealot, that she's like a drunkard, so I don't even, you know, whatever. She's weird, right? The Deborah lady, right? Weird older lady. All of these content creators, you just be looking at them like, bruh, y'all, you realize you're leading your like followers and subscribers to like a single life of misery, probably being a munch. Shout out to Victor, right? Probably being, I told y'all, bro, like they're gonna, and even Suckus Ray on the video that I'm talking about now, that she might be still streaming, like she pretty much said like, yo, so you're like, are y'all prepared to be single? Like she pretty much said it to her subscribers, to the women, because the women are like, the marriage is no safe place either. And Suckus, do you realize that your subscribers complain for, like, it's a sport? It's a sport to them to just talk crap about men and complain about men all day. Like, that's what they do. Yeah, they're preparing themselves to be single forever because Suckus, your subscribers know that the white dudes are not checking like that. They know they're racist. And I always want to emphasize that. I don't go in on black women's shape or their attitude like that. I make sure to emphasize it's because these non-black men are that racist. They're that anti-black. They didn't create this system to go share their wealth, whatever wealth they do have, with black women, right? I try to emphasize that, number one. Number two, most black women they're not into same-sex relationships, believe it or not. Most of them don't want to engage in that. I'm not saying a significant minority won't engage in it. I'm saying the majority are not interested in eating vagina, right? So where does that leave them? Single, miserable, occasionally succumbing to the flesh and having some dude knock it out the ballpark, whether that dude is dusty or not, right? This is the truth of the matter, right? And so many of y'all content creators on the women's side are just not being honest with your subscribers. Y'all just not. Either y'all are purposely not being honest, or you just don't know. Either way, right? And I see I just got a super chat that popped up. Give me a second. Once I get to a red light, I will read it. Sorry for the stutter just now. I looked in my rearview mirror and this Dodge Ram, I'm doing like 80. This Dodge Ram just flew past me. He had to be doing like 110, 120 on the expressway, right? And I knew he was gonna have to cut over. So like, I'm one of those people, because I drive fast myself, especially when I'm in the Z. So like, I'm one of those people, like, I won't try to close the door on you. First of all, because I'm not trying to die by trying to play discipline with a car. I don't know why people do that. And secondly, because I know what it's like to be trying to like get a move on, and like people are trying to play discipline with their car, and it's like, nigga, we will both die. Like, I've been in, I was like, nigga, we will both die. We will both die. Right? Y'all better stop. For all of you that be trying to play discipline with your car, y'all better stop it. Especially if you got your kids in the car. Right? Yeah, you might, if you do, if you can jump on the car and you still have your faculties, yeah, you can whoop that person's ass, but the other people in your car might be gone. Y'all better stop doing that. Right? So, yeah, so, yeah, so the success rate thing is interesting. Like I said, she's not the worst of them. I've definitely heard other content creators be way more insulting to black men than she is. I've heard, like, and that's because the bar is that high. Y'all realize, like, I'm saying success rate isn't that bad. You know how high the bar gotta be for me to say that? And yes, it's because the bar is that high. God damn, right? Yeah, it's because the bar is that high. I'm at the red light. Let me read what it was. They will learn when they meet Chad Wheeler. Shout out to Victor. Yeah, brother. Yeah, man, look, man. We know what it is. Everyone knows what it is. And, like, I think the sisters split half and half in that space, that divestor, swirler, black women in luxury, black women level up space. I think they split half and half. I think some of them are that delusional. About half of them are really that delusional. I want to stress that. About half of them are really that delusional. And the other half are just talking just to be talking. They know better. They go to school with these white dudes. They work with these white dudes. Some of them have had sex with these white dudes on and off. They know that these white dudes are not checking, or they're not trying to marry them. They're just you're just there, right, to have fun with, because y'all work together and y'all been working together long enough, and he wanted to know what it was like and you wanted to know what it was like. Or y'all know some of these sisters, they know they've heard horror stories from other sisters, that confided in them, like, yeah, I'm never gonna let my black boyfriend know this or my black husband know this, but yeah, I had sex with a white dude before, or Latino dude before, and, like, I thought it was gonna go somewhere and it didn't. Or we both knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere, but I did it anyway, and, like, after it, I felt so used, right? And there's been black women online that said that, like, after they've dealt with white dudes, they felt so used, they realized they were just a tool, even worse than for a black guy, right? So, like, like I said, and hopefully y'all can hear me, I don't usually drive on this road, so I don't know whether it's a dead zone or not. I don't know why I decided to come down this road at this time of day. Not smart at all right now. Yeah, I'm in a nicer part of town, in Miami right now, and I should have known better. And that's why y'all hear the horns, because it is bumper to bumper traffic. And I'm driving my old beater everyday car, because I did not want the Z in this. Yeah, bumper to bumper traffic. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I should have known better. But yeah, so y'all know what it is, right? Like, and so yeah, I mean, the interesting about all this conversation about interracial relationships and interracial marriage and leveling up and all of this talk, I think too many things happened back to back and no one explained it to us, right? So, like, this is why, of course, who drives a Porsche truck and don't really drive? I bet you I put money it's not a man. So I'm, like, behind. It's a really nice blue. It's like that almost, it's not an aqua blue. What blue would that be? Like a beach blue, right? Porsche Macan, like a new Porsche Macan. It looks really nice, actually, but it's not the turbo, but it's still nice. And I'm behind it, and, like, the light was turning yellow, and, like, this car, she had enough space. I'm saying a she because I'm almost certain it's a she. And she didn't take it. And I'm like, if she would have took it, I would have took it. But of course she didn't take it. So yeah. Quack, you already know the Deborah lady I was talking about. Quack says Deborah Cooper with a lot of these girls are gonna end up like older, bitter, and angry. I'm telling y'all, and, like, they think it doesn't matter. Like, they look at their elders and they think it doesn't matter. They swear they're not gonna be that. You know what I so appreciate about Angry Man, about Judge Dre, about Art New Style, BGS, right? Black Uru, You know what I so respect about them? Excuse me, and other older brothers in this space that come through, Abuki, all of them, right? They actually give you wisdom, right? They actually tell it like, yo, y'all be careful for this, be careful for that, right? Look out for this, enjoy that, respect this. Like, perfect example, when it was a brother in this space, a younger brother, you know, he heard us speaking and he was considering breaking up with his girl. And me and Charles started a new stream, invited him on, and me, Charles, and a bunch of other brothers was like, no, brother, you in a great relationship. You are in a great situation. And hopefully y'all can still hear me. I don't know if y'all can. Hopefully y'all can. But me and Charles were like, no, brother, you are in a great situation. You are in a great relationship. You know, keep that. Don't mess that up. Don't break up with her for nothing. Hold on to that, right? And I wonder how much of that goes on in those spaces, the women's spaces. Or is it always some, oh, y'all don't got a big house, y'all don't got a mansion, and y'all only in y'all 20s, you better leave him. He ain't making $150,000 yet, you better leave him. Like, you know, we were honest with the brother, like, no, bro, like, you don't come back out here. Ain't nothing for you out here, right? Like I was telling y'all, like, everyone knows Mr. Z is I am in a happy relationship. Like I told y'all, I just was pinching my girl's stomach and thanking her mom for her, right? Like, I mean that, right? I'm around people that have been married for decades. My parents, decades. My girl's parents, decades. I'm around people that have been married for decades. Obviously, I'm around divorced people. I'm around people. I pay attention, right? So I wonder how much of these other people do that, right? Do they appreciate the opposite sex outside of just the money and kissing your ass and ego stroking and placating you all day, every day? My girl doesn't placate me all day, every day, and I don't ask her to, and I actually don't want her to. That shit's not real, right? Y'all know Mr. Z. I don't placate her all day, every day. I was actually annoyed with her yesterday, right? I actually gave her the silent treatment yesterday for a good grip, right? This is real. When you're in a real relationship with a real other thinking, feeling, breathing human being, and you know they're a real autonomous, right, human being, you treat them as such. You don't treat them like a thing. And what Selkis Ray don't want to be honest about, and I would be remiss to say that Selkis is more honest than the others, than the other female content creators, black female content creators. I will give her that. But what she doesn't want to be fully honest about, and definitely the Paris, who else? Paris, Lexus Exodus, all of them, right? The Chrissy, that's what I was trying to get Chrissy down. Chrissy in particular, is that y'all view men as things, and then y'all try to justify it by saying, well, y'all view us as things. They can never speak about themselves in a vacuum, ever. When men, we be beating the crap out of each other, right? Criticizing each other in a vacuum. And we don't want to hear nothing about, well, the men, if we're going in on brothers and you come out your mouth, well, the women, bro, you might get X'd off the channel, right? You might get X'd off the channel if you start speaking like that, right? So that's the interesting thing about this thing. I talk about, that's why y'all hear me say not all, not most, or, you know, small majority or large majority or whatever, large minority, excuse me. That's why y'all hear me say that. Not all black women, this is a women thing, this is a Western thing. Like, I would argue I was one of the first to really start saying that type of stuff, right? For those of y'all that remember hearing me on BGS channel when I first started going there, hearing me on Roger's channel, right? I made sure to emphasize, hey, let's get over this. Oh, the reason why black people don't got no money is because how we spend it. I was one of the first to start saying that like that, like, you know, or at least screaming it from the mountaintop and emphasizing it all the time. I was one of the first to be like, this is kind of, certain parts are bigger than just black women. They're the loudest about it because they're the furthest from this materialistic ideal. The issue with black women is they don't want to be honest about the environment. And it's ruining black boys and men and their own daughters and themselves. Don't get it twisted, y'all. Black women are not happy in mass. They're not. Yeah, they might be making our lives hell, but their lives hell too. Yep, I watched some of her stuff too. Shout out to the brother Demetrius. I've watched some of her stuff too. Mademoiselle, I watched some of her stuff too. Y'all, bro, y'all name them. I'm telling y'all. when I say Mr. Z is on these YouTube streets, I'm on these YouTube streets, y'all. If it's a black content creator, I'm not gonna say I've seen every single black content. That would be a straight up lie. But if their channel is some 10,000 plus subscribers, yeah, I probably have heard of them, seen at least a couple of videos from them, you know, yeah. Right? Because I like to know what other black people think and feel, what other people think and feel. I'm telling you, when I say I watch stuff from so many different places, man. Y'all done heard me. I've said it a billion times how me and Nameless connected because we both knew kind of what was going on in Japan. Right? You'll be so like, man, I just be watching stuff from all over the place. I've been binge listening to a bunch of British like rap and grime, Australian drill music. Like I've been binge listening to this stuff for like the past 3 or 4 weeks now. And every about 6 months to 9 months, I revisit like British drill music, right? I just want to know just to know, right? For those of y'all that want to like, what is Mr. Z on? I just want to know just to know, right? I'm subscribed to all of this stuff because I just want to know just to know. Right? I like to be worldly. If I was to hit that Powerball, Mr. Z would be all over the planet. Shout out to whoever. I heard somebody in California won that. Boy, you literally went to regular degular to a billionaire over. God, right? I don't know enough about Pimp God. I don't know enough, right? But yeah, you know. So yeah, I mean, like, it's, you know, I try to keep up, like I said, with as much as I can because I want to know stuff, and I want I know my channel is small, right? But if, you know, I know there's brothers in here that have children. If y'all are listening to me and y'all kids are around, I don't want your kids to be listening to Mr. Z or y'all to even be listening to Mr. Z and I be that inaccurate. I'm like, you know, if I'm inaccurate, like, it's not on purpose, right? And I like to know these things, and then I'll impart my opinion based off of the facts that I have at hand, right? And like, y'all have heard Mr. Z say things, and then somebody says something, I'll be like, you're right, right? Because like, if what you're saying makes more sense, then I'll concede the point. You don't even I won't even fight it. Now, if I disagree, right, I'll fight it. And y'all have even heard me say to BGS, like, all right, BGS, I'm putting on my tinfoil hat, right? I don't care, right? And that's me saying, like, that's me saying, okay, I know what the history says or the facts say, but I feel, and I'll be honest about it. That's why I'll be like, okay, this is me putting on the tinfoil hat, right? I could concede that. But I think a lot of people, like, they can't concede when they're just like full of crap or they don't know what they're talking about, or it's just opinion, or they feel something that's not based off of anything, but I need you to feel what I feel, right? Yeah, man. So I mean, like that's my thing with a lot of the ladies content. And that's why I was I trolled Selkis. I'm not gonna lie. I trolled her. I trolled her. And for me it's like, but you should know better. A lot of the stuff y'all be saying, y'all should know better. Y'all should know better. And that's why I'd be annoyed with like people like Chrissy. Like Chrissy, you should know better. Right? I'm not gonna lie. I listen to her, and you listen to things that she say. Okay, now she's doing the whole like these women like married into money type thing, both black men, white men, all type of And it's like, Chrissy, but you know what's going on the planet. Chrissy, you know better. And if you don't know better, you should know better. You know what this environment is. You selling these ladies on fantasy. And you're selling them on fantasy, and that means you're selling them on misery. Future misery. Delusion now, misery later. Ooh, ooh. I think Mr. Z just came up with something. Put it in the book. Hopefully y'all can hear me still. Put it in the book. Delusion now, misery later. Hashtag that. All right. I think I was having a conversation with my lady. This was months ago now. And I was saying something along the lines like, babe, like, I know sometimes I come off like a naysayer. I know sometimes I'm not, because, I watch a bunch of dark stuff. Clearly, if you're watching a bunch of realistic documentaries about history, politics, all type of stuff, it ain't all happy stuff, right? But I said, babe, that's why I work the way I do. That's why I have the jobs I have. That's why, like, I'm able to do the type of things with for you and for us. That's why I got the Z, because I wasn't delusional. I looked up how many, like, okay, slight car analogy to kind of paint the picture for y'all. I looked up how many Zs there were, right? 300 ZXs, right? From 89 to 96. In America, they sold some 100 and, I think it was like 190 something or something like that, or something along those lines. Or was it 90 something? Something like 90 something, right? Either way, 18,274 twin turbo 300 ZXs. Now, for all of you car people, or even that know a little bit about cars, y'all know they selling some 300,000 Corollas a year type crap. 200 and something thousand Corollas, right? They're selling hundreds of thousands of Civics. They're selling, 100,000+ Accords, Camrys, and all that other stuff a year. The twin turbo Z, which is the one I wanted, which is the one I have, they only sold 18,274 in the span of 6 years, because the twin turbo in America came out in 90, right? And I was determined to own one. So I couldn't be delusional about the facts. I had to be honest and be a go-getter about it. Same thing when I got my job, right? When I got the promotion, I know that there were a couple hundred. There was one of the positions, right? I know there were dozens of people that went after it. Dozens, right? You have to be honest about the landscape so you can fight against it. So many people are not honest about the landscape. Even though and that's why I'm like, y'all are delusional, because okay, to say you don't have to compete. It sounds ugly to say you have to compete, but if you want this air quotes high value dude, or a dude that makes money, and think you're not going to compete, then you're full of crap. Right? Like I see my lady. I know what my lady look like. I know what that ass look like. Guess what? Did Mr. Z have to compete with other dudes? Yes and no. Was it an overt competition? No. But was it competition? Kind of. You can't think. Who wants someone that no one wants, right? So if you want someone that other people want, then guess what that means for you in your life, right? Guess what that means for you in your life, people. If you want a lifestyle that's rare, then guess what that means for you and your life. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Right? So that's why I laugh when I hear some of these things. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? And I get annoyed sometimes. I do. I truly do. Because these, you know, these are, I'm going to sound like really corny, but these are our little girls. They really are. These are our little girls. They are. And these are our little boys. These are our brothers and our sisters. And people are filling their head up with crap. And black people can't afford to be delusional. I'm sorry. Inspired? Yes. Right? Encouraged? Yes. But I don't know, like the line between encourage and delusion and pushing delusion is real thin now. It's looking thinner and thinner every day. Because I think that's what these female content creators think they're doing. They think they're inspiring these little girls and these women. Y'all are not inspiring them. Y'all are making them delusional. Right? What? When brothers listen to me, what, are they not going to go to work in the next tomorrow? They'll be like, oh, I'm too depressed. I can't. After listening to Mr. Z, I'm too depressed. I'm not going to work. What's the point? No, they know the real, and actually it might motivate them more. Right? When we talk about the potential upcoming doom with this inflation, what, our brothers like, no, I'm not going to do anything now. No. They know, okay, now I got to prep, I got to prepare, I got to save up my money, make sure my credit's straight, make sure I got canned goods and water, right? We make sure people know what the hell is going on the planet, unlike some of the women content creators. Right? Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat, y'all. I'm pretty much at my destination, but I'm gonna try to stay on with y'all for a little bit. But yeah, so you know that's pretty much all, y'all. I mean, like, you know, like I said, I trolled Sulcus Ray. It did feel a little good. Shout out to being a sadomasochist. You know, and it is a bit sad, to tell you the truth, how ignorant so many of us are to the environment and the real. And our young people who really can't afford it. Our young people, you're dealing with a couple of generations when you come to millennials and Gen Z who will not be faring better than their parents. You know, who will most likely not fare better than their parents, not of any of their doing, just, and I don't even blame black boomers for this. Really, I blame white boomers for this, and white silent generation who sold America, or who allowed the white elites to sell America. A lot of it to get back at black people, right? And so selling your children on delusion, selling young people on delusion, right? That's my issue. Notice what I'm not saying. I'm not saying inspiring them or encouraging them, because there's a difference. Y'all think y'all inspiring them. Y'all are not. Y'all are not encouraging them. Y'all are making them delusional, as evidenced by their life. The African sister that I told y'all, I'm so mad I didn't save that video because I saw it on IG, right? The African sister I told y'all that you know, talking about what she won't settle for, and then you look in the background and you see her she's in her parents' home. You could tell she's in her parents' home. Talking about what she won't settle for. Right? Talking about essentially love over money. Right? What love got to do with it, the type of stuff that she was saying. Right? And I'm like, you can't afford, lady, your life says different though. Your life says different. Your life says different. You know? But these people are that delusional. Let me see. Let me read some of y'all comments. Joe says, if the older women aren't successful in getting who they want, they pass the curse to the next generation. Bruh, say that. Say that. Exactly. Exactly. Right? Namer says, you have to compete. Unfortunately, there are no rules, and everybody is playing dirty, even naked in the in some cases. Bruh, thank you. Right? Ooh, Namer says, hell, arranged marriages aren't even viable for people in traditional societies these past few decades. Bruh, hey, man, look, we live in the real world with real technology, real new ways of thinking about relationships and intimacy and all this other stuff. There was no way none of these things were gonna get touched. Shout out to Nameless. Shout out to the Mouse Utopia project, right? Shout out to BGS. There's no way. And look, I'm not against any of this, but there is a consequence to this that nobody wants to talk about. That's why y'all keep on hearing me say this over and over again. The commodification of the opposite sex, the commodification of relationships and intimacy, neoliberalism, capitalism, all of these things that has an effect on our relationships and how we see each other and how we see the opposite sex and how we see ourselves, right? And how, like, that's why so many people are unhappy. Nah, bro, I was here already. Buddy Road tried to speed up because he ain't see me in this. I got a good parking. I'm not giving this parking up for no one. Shout out to mall parking. Part 2 of the music, Misandry music video. I did not forget. So we're gonna continue that. And I reached my destination also, but my phone definitely overheated, and that's why I had to I literally just restarted it. So let me hurry up and get out of here before it does it again. Like I said, to sum it all up, I think YouTube or some important democratic figures might be trying to send me a signal because my previous video got demonetized completely. It's ineligible completely, and I didn't say anything crazy. I didn't say anything violent. I didn't say anything anti-Semitic. I didn't say anything anti-women. I didn't say anything like that. It still got demonetized though. So all right, I got the signal. I got the message. Number 1. Number 2, we were also talking about Sulcus Ray and me trolling her and her not knowing what she's talking about, and I think it's more that, but still. So yeah, we'll truly end out here. Yeah, so we'll truly end out here. I'll try to catch y'all replay. Y'all comments on the replay. And I'll end out with the person that donated the most today, Mr. Victor Creed. And Mr. Victor Creed, last comment is it fair to compare these female content creators to WWE wrestling promos? Nigga. I mean, with how hyperbolic they speak sometimes, especially like the Paris really, and Real Talk with Yanni. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no, right? Yeah, I would say yeah. They are extra. They make it seem like I told y'all when Paris made that video, essentially saying stop talking about it, be about it, to her to her subscribers and followers about this swirler divester stuff. So yeah, and I made a video about how weird that was, and the other video where she pretty much tried to say, yeah, they're trying to use these white dudes that do occasionally kill black women, or at least black women are found dead in their presence, as a scare tactic to try to encourage black women not to date out. That video, right? When she made that video, I was like, whoa. Oh, okay, now you sounding crazy. Now you're sounding crazy, right? They're trying to scare us by talking about the white guys that might have killed these black women and bringing that up. Okay, you sound crazy now, lady. You're like officially in crazy land. So yeah, I'll end out with that, y'all. Hopefully y'all were able to hear me. Mr. Z out. I will pause right there. Love P. I feel like I missed something. Did I miss somebody's super chat or something like that? No, I think I got everything. Okay. Shout out to once again the two superchargers, Joe's and Victor Creed, and I will pause right there. Truly, y'all check me out on the next one. I might do a review on Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and I'll let y'all know in the title whether it's going to be spoilers or not. So so that might be coming tomorrow, or tomorrow's what, Saturday? Either Saturday night-ish. I have a car show to go to. So if not Saturday night, maybe Sunday morning-ish. So we'll see. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right there. And Mr. Z out.